We are looking at a very active stretch of severe weather over the next week or two, possibly even longer, as we are going into prime severe weather season. Right here is our surface-based Kate. This is basically our storm's fuel or instability in the atmosphere. The more unstable the atmosphere is, the stronger the storms we could possibly get. I'll be breaking down what we can expect over the next week in this video, so let's get started now. Here is our Storm Prediction Center outlook over the next week. So here is for today. We have a low wind severe weather threat today. It will mainly ramp up starting on Saturday, tomorrow. But we do have a little risk today. No tornado threat today. Mainly going to be a wind threat and a small hail threat. Nothing too crazy is expected today. But tomorrow on Saturday, we have a 2 to 5 slight risk for severe weather. And that has a 2% tornado risk included in that. We could see a couple isolated tornadoes possible in these green areas here. And we also have a 15% damaging wind risk, where we could see some possibly gusty winds with some storms down here in southwest Texas and western Texas areas. And we also have a 15% hail risk in about the same spot where we could see some hail to be possible with supercells. And on our day 3 outlook, that is Sunday, we have a slight risk currently. This could get upgraded in the future. I do think that is a possibility. But that green area, that is a 1 to 5 marginal risk. In that area, we can see possibly some damaging wind, small hail, low wind tornado threat. That yellow area, we could see some hail, gusty winds, and a little bit of a higher tornado threat. I'm not expecting anything crazy for Saturday or Sunday. It will really ramp up on Monday, which is where we have a slight risk currently. But that I'm definitely expecting this to change. We could definitely get an enhanced or moderate risk on Monday and Tuesday. This yellow area, that is a 15% chance for severe weather in that area. This Monday and Tuesday is our main days. We could see large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes to be possible. Most that I'm concerned about is Tuesday. This is our Tuesday outlook. We have this large slight risk, this large 15% risk here, where I definitely think a severe weather outbreak, possibly even a tornado outbreak, is possible. We still are a bit out, so this still could change. Hopefully it does. But as of now, we are looking at definitely a major severe weather event on Monday, Tuesday being possible. We also have a severe weather risk on Wednesday. Also, that is a 15% risk for severe storms. I'm not expecting anything as severe as the other days, but I do think a few tornadoes could be possible with any supercells that can develop in front of a line of storms. And I also think it's possible we get some damaging winds, maybe small hail with some supercells. We do not have a day 7 or a day 8 outlook as of now, but that definitely could change as we get closer. We are definitely looking at a very active stretch for severe weather. As I said in the beginning of the video, we are going into prime severe weather season, which is April, May. That is prime severe weather season when we are expecting the most severe weather. So let's go take a look at what our models are showing. Here is our GFS model, which is our American medium range model here. We can see by Friday into Saturday, we should see a low pressure system develop off the west coast. And as it heads towards here, this will be causing our severe weather as this trough dips down on a Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday. And we see right after, we see multiple trough ejections just keep dropping down into the Great Plains and much of the U.S., causing severe weather, which is why, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is going to be a very active April and May. We are going into prime severe weather season, so we are expecting a lot of severe weather. At this point, once we get past around Thursday next week, that is when we are just too far out to know for sure. There's a lot of uncertainty at that point. So like right here on Friday, we could see more severe weather, which is trough, but it's still too far out to know for sure. That's something to keep an eye on though. Let's take a look at our CAPE, or convective available potential energy. Here is our surface-based CAPE. This is basically our storm's fuel. I showed this at the beginning of the video, but I'll break it down a little bit more now. But we can see around Saturday, we start to see some areas with 1,000 Cape. We only need about a 500 to 1,000 joules per kilogram to get severe storms. So Saturday, we could see some severe weather in areas like Kansas and northern Oklahoma areas. And then as we go into Sunday, we see even more areas going up to 2,000, 1,000, 2,000 plus Cape in areas like Texas, Oklahoma. Stretching from southern Texas all the way to Iowa, we could see 2,000 plus Cape on Sunday. On Monday, Monday night, we are looking at areas going into 3,000 Cape and areas in the Midwest and areas going into Texas going into 2,000. So we're having a long swath of severe weather possible in these areas. We'll have to see what our convection looks like. We do not have our short-range models yet, so we are still waiting on that. We can look at some of the short-range models, but they don't show the whole events yet, sadly. So I'll make sure you guys do subscribe if you are not subscribed already. I will make videos as we get closer showing our shorter-range models. Then as we go into Tuesday looks like it will be the main event. Like I said, we could get a possible severe weather outbreak, maybe even a tornado outbreak on Tuesday. We are looking at 2,000 to 3,000 Cape in a very large area across the Midwest, stretching all the way down from southeast Kansas all the way up into areas like Wisconsin, are getting 1 to 3K Cape. Definitely a lot of Cape. On Wednesday, we're not expecting a widespread severe weather event. We do have a little bit of Cape on Wednesday that could support some severe storms in areas like Texas and Oklahoma, and even some of Ohio and the East Coast could get some severe weather. And Thursday, we're looking at possibly more severe weather. I'm not going to go that far out. It's just too far to know for certain. Definitely watching very closely over the next few weeks. Let's take a look at what the GFS is showing for our reflectivity. Here's our precipitation type and rate, basically showing our low pressure systems, our high pressure system, and rain and snow. We see starting Saturday, we start to see a low pressure system, the first low, go off towards the northern U.S. areas. This, we can see a bunch of storms start to pop up on the GFS model, showing this convection here. This is basically our future radar. It's not as high quality as our short-range models, which is why I will be making more videos as we get closer, showing our short-range models, which are more accurate, and show the reflectivity a little bit better. And we see as we go ahead into Sunday and Monday, we start to see some severe weather go up to maybe some of the Midwest could get some strong storms. And that low pressure system eventually goes out, and we get another low pressure system that starts to get off the west coast and head up northeast. And that kind of stalls over South Dakota a little bit, or Kansas, and causes those severe storms to pop off everywhere here in the Midwest, stretching from Texas to the Midwest. And we can see as we go ahead in time, Monday to Tuesday, we start to see more storms to pop off. On Tuesday, we see a low pressure system is right here in Wisconsin, Minnesota area, and heading northeast. We start to see a lot of storms pop off, possibly some supercells in Iowa, Illinois, Missouri areas, stretching from Texas to Iowa. In Wisconsin, we could see severe weather on Monday and Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we could see some more severe weather as it's heading more east. While it's in those pressure system will be in Canada, we can see some severe storms stretching from Texas to Ohio. Maybe even southern Michigan could get some severe weather. And Thursday, we're looking at, we could go back at it again Thursday with another low pressure system developing off of here in the northern U.S., causing more severe weather possibly next week, late next week. Definitely going to be a very active weather pattern in the next few weeks. Let's take a look at one of our short-range models. That is a Rufus model. It still does not show the entire event, but it does show some of it. So let's take a look at that. The Rufus model showing our possible future radar. We can see today, not expecting much storms today. Some little pop-off storms are possible, but nothing too severe as expected. Sometimes the Rufus is an experimental model. Sometimes it does kind of just show random supercells. We're not expecting really much supercells today in Oklahoma. Mainly going to be making an isolated supercell or two, but it's not going to produce any tornadoes. It's a very low chance, less than 2% chance for tornadoes today, like I mentioned in the outlook section of this video. As we go to Saturday, we see more storms start to develop on a Saturday afternoon to nighttime hours down in Texas, and even some Kansas areas. We see some discrete supercells. Some very large supercells like Rufus is popping up off in areas like Texas. And this eventually becomes into a line of storms by Sunday in Oklahoma, Texas areas, even Kansas included in this line of storms. Even Wisconsin could get some severe weather up here in Wisconsin. Definitely watching those two areas on Sunday. We can see some of Monday. Late Sunday night, we can see another line starting to get stronger in southern Texas areas. We see a little bit on Monday. We see one supercell pop off, but that's about all the model shows. Let's take a look at what this model is showing for a cape on Saturday and Sunday, though. Here's our surface-based cape on the Rufus model. And you see on Friday, it does show a little to us today, does show a little bit of cape. We could see some severe storms, but nothing too severe is expected today. And then into Saturday, we start to see that cape uptrend again. In areas like Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, we start to see a southern cape, 2000 cape in Kansas areas. Rainstorms could develop in that environment. They could be decently strong. But on Sunday, that's when we are really going to start kicking off. Is Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday. We are looking at the Rufus model popping up 2000 and 3000 cape in Texas. This model is a outlier right now. No other models are agreeing with this much cape in Texas and Oklahoma on Sunday. But we definitely should be watching it, because if this happened, this would be the worst case scenario here on Sunday. That the Rufus model is correct, with 3000 plus cape in a lot of areas with some strong storms expected, with at the same time it's a lot of supercells. So we're definitely watching that very closely. That's going to be all for this forecast video. This is going to be a decently short forecast video, because I'm not able to show all of our short range models yet. But make sure you guys do subscribe and like this video if you are not already subscribed. And make sure you guys hit the bell icon so you get notified when I post again, probably tomorrow or on Sunday, once we are getting closer and we have our short range models and models are more accurate. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more forecasts.